We have walked through our entire 4-month NICU journey and the 3-year update over the last few episodes. And we have some souvenirs from our NICU stay. I've kept many little things that we were given or allowed to take that are memorable in this box. Today, I want to unbox this and go through the items with you together so that we revisit the journey one last time before I get to close this chapter of our story. So, what is in the box? So this is the box right here, and I am ready to go through this with you. Let's get started. Whoop, there are pouch and there's a bag, and most importantly, there are these little diapers. They are the Preemie diapers. I'll show you one by one. This is the smallest size available in the hospital, and in the beginning, for like a few weeks, this looked huge on my baby. And then they move on to the next preemie diaper, which is still quite small. As they get chubbier, they start wearing this. And then I kept this as a comparison. This is the size of the diaper for newborns. And then you can see how much smaller the preemie diapers are compared to the diaper for the newborns. So here are the diapers. And then I want to look through this bag. I think I kept many important things in this bag. The easiest to reach are these notebooks. These were the little notebooks that were available at the hospital, and I kept little daily bullet note journals just to record what happened that day, what the progress was, and how the baby was doing. And then there are also little hats. Oops, little hats for the preemies. So preemies need to keep their body temperature, so they wear the hats most of the time. Look how tiny they are. And then there is another hat that my baby wore when he was born, and this was gigantic on his preemie head when he was about 600 grams. And these are the hats, and then this just fell off. So basically preemies wear this, and this magnetic plate over here, this part of the pipe goes stick so that they can keep the oxygen mask and the oxygen pipe intact, and then they can breathe. And this is half for that. So they are the parts of the CPAP, the oxygen mask. So the left one is the one that goes into the nose, and the right one is what sits on the nose and the mouth. So depending on where the baby is in terms of their breathing capability, they can switch the tip so that the baby can get enough oxygen. And then let me see. Oh, I think this is the very first clothes that my baby wore. So I donated all of his clothes, preemie clothes, because all the children at the hospital needed, and we had a lot. And this was the very first one that he was wearing. Because of so many cables that are attached to the baby, so it's easy access. So they kind of all close this together and tie this string, and then they can wear this clothes. So it's very tiny. It was his very first clothes, so I kept it. And here is, it's a little celebration bottle. When he finished drinking significant amount of breast milk himself through the bottle, the nurses kept it so that they let the parents know that he did it while we weren't there, celebrating a little milestone. It's super cute. And then there's a date when he did that. That's wonderful. And also there are tiny little objects. I kept the pregnancy test, but also what's in there are super tiny pacifiers. So these are the pacifiers for the preemies, and then this one particularly is really tiny. So they give this little pacifier so that the preemies can practice muscles around the mouth. And this is when they grow a little bigger and get closer to the full-term baby. And then there is this little cup. When he was cut away from me, when his umbilical cord dries and falls off, they kept it and then they gave it to us. And another thing here is a phone case that I actually painted myself. Inspired by this blue light therapy, I drew this on the phone case from the inner side. While I was doing that, I was processing lots and lots of emotions, and then also keeping this as a sign of hope. So I used this phone case during the entire stay of the NICU. So it means a lot, so I kept it. Also, here, these are the soaps that we custom made for my child's baptism. And it was actually my friend who is an artisan soap maker who made each soap. It was such a beautiful gift to share with the guests who came over to celebrate the baby's baptism together. And this is a candle that one of the candles that we used for the baptism ceremony. So it was a part of the ceremony at the church. And here are all these cables that were connecting my child to the machines. Many cables over here. This is the first haircut. I kept his trimmings. It's not about NICU, but it's first something, so it's special. And these are the cards that we received from family and friends during the NICU stay. So yeah, that's it. I really enjoyed going through this box with you. These items are truly badges of honor, signs that we lived through the NICU journey and hit all the preemie milestones. It was a time of so many intense emotions, but also so much love and support. Revisiting it one last time, especially here with you, has been a beautiful ritual. Now I'm ready to close this box and with it, this chapter of my life. But there is one last thing I need to do. I have written a letter to the version of myself who sat next to the incubator 3 years ago. I'd love for you to join me as I close this chapter in the finale, my letter to a preemie mom. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you there. This is Never Too Early.